We're here with Chuck Potter from HoofCinch. As a trainer, and I've noticed that we've had this conversation yesterday at dinner, same thing with you as a farrier. There's a word that gets thrown around all the time, and the word is natural.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll get a phone call that I'm a natural horsemanship trainer, and I usually stop people and correct them. I don't classify myself as a natural horsemanship trainer. I'm more classical, or whatever you want to call it. And what's the difference when we're referring to natural in natural trimming versus a farrier? Give us a quick little synopsis of the differences, Tim.
Well, the school-trained farrier is science-based farrier.
Okay.
Okay, they're taught the science of the hoof, because farrier is a science.
Right.
And I mean, they used to be the veterinarians and the blacksmith and everything.
Right.
And now we've divided out after about, 1850s or so, when
Right.
veterinary schools started. And so we've now, because there's no guidance for farriers anymore, and there really never was any guidance for farriers here in the United States. There's no regulations or rules that govern somebody being a farrier. So we branched off into all these how people live their lives. They have a tendency to go towards that ideology.
Right.
And so if they're more of a naturalist, the essential oils, all that stuff, they go off onto the natural side. And then the science-based...
There's nothing wrong with that. We're going to clarify that, as long as the well-being of the horse is always put first.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it's all just in the hoof care. And if people have an idea without knowing what an actual wild foot looks like.
Right.
And so they try to use this idea as their basis for what they're doing, instead of actually looking at what a real wild foot looks like, because they look like a professional farrier just trimmed them.
Absolutely.
And that they're beautiful. I mean, they got a nice cup sole, the frog's not touching the ground, the hoof wall's nice and even.
The front hoof looks like this. It's nice and round.
Exactly.
It's not squared off or anything.
Right. There's no roll. They don't create a roll unless they have a medical problem.
Right.
So if they're dragging a foot due to Sweeney's shoulder, or they have a tight tendon or something and they're dragging, then you'll see a squared toe. But it's due to a medical problem, not due to nature needing it to be that way.
Right. And the beauty, like when we're talking to those like wild Mustangs or whatever, the ones that have a bony column that aren't aligned properly, or medical conditions, God sort of just weeds those out themselves. So on the Mustangs, you're seeing these beautiful hooves are the ones that actually survived.
Yep.
This is Darwin theory at its finest. Just everything's perfect because nature just sorted itself out.
Well, too, if you look at now, because we kind of protect some of these wild herds, there's a lot of them that have medical problems that do fine. They live through. But if you look at their feet adapt for what their problem is, and that they change shape. So, you have a horse with a crooked leg, and you'll notice that foot has migrated, and it looks beautiful. It's right back under center of gravity for that limb.
Right.
And so it grew that way because the horse had a problem.
It fixed itself.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.